Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And shalom to the whole full elect. This is Paya Allah. Title of this video will be determined upon upload, but I actually guess it when I think about it. I probably call it Memorial of Blowing of the Trumpets. It's the High Holy Day. With this High Holy Day, there's a lot to think about. As with most of our high holy days, there's more to it than meets the eye. Like when you ponder upon it and mull over the scriptures and the various history or precepts that align with the high holy days, they resonate with you now. Being captive in Babylon the Great, or the kingdom of Babylon as a whole, which is headed by America. Basically, there's a lot to meditate upon, whether it be things of past, things that are written aforetime and written for our learning, things that are presently going on, and also leading up to the things that are to come. So, this is something that, the bringing in of the new moon, of the 7th month is the blowing of the trumpets. And when you go into dealing with the trumpets in the book of Numbers, Moses was told to basically create trumpets for various sounds. I haven't read the book in a while. I know it's in Numbers 10, but I have to go over it once again to kind of refresh my mind. But the point being, nonetheless, you had distinct sounds for distinct reasons, and then even with those distinct sounds, they would be blown to a certain number of times or a certain way, so on and so forth, and it would distinguish, do this, do that, you kind of understand what was being said. And with that being the case, we're told to cry loud and spare not. We're basically blowing that trumpet for the ingathering of the chosen, the children of Israel, all right? And those that take heed to it are basically gonna, Lord willing, if they endure to the end, Lord willing, if you endure to the end, should I say, you'll be, as a hopeful elect, you'll be saved from the impending doom that's about to come upon this earth. And that's it, man. So I'm gonna steamroll through a couple of precepts. Just keep this short and sweet, and Lord willing, you be edified. So this is Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh not have done it? Right. So it said, shall a trumpet not be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? All right. So there's a distinct sound that would have been blue, all right, and the people would have known. It's like you can only imagine, like when you hear dealing with America, the war, the bomb siren, the like if you hear that, you at first like if you hear it, you get the fire alarm drills at school or your workplace, every Thursday at 10 a.m. or every Monday at 12 a.m. they set up the siren, or 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, wherever they do, the first thing you're going to think is, is this a test or something like that? Because we had the same thing over in the UK maybe a month ago now, with the text system about any national threat. And you have these different type of things all over the world. So the first time you hear it, you might think there's no way that it could be something serious. But if it keeps going on, if it's ongoing, then you really, a bit of panic and fear sets in, to where people start thinking, we need to, figure out what's going on. So this is speaking to that effect, all right? If you hear that trumpet being blown, the people are gonna be afraid, all right? and the evil being done in the city shall the Lord, the Most High, basically is the author of all things. It tells you in the book of Proverbs 16 that the wicked were made for the day of evil. And when you really deal with the book of Job 9:24, it tells you that the Heavenly Father basically gave the earth into the hand of the wicked. That's that prophecy in the book of Revelation, as far as that prophecy in the book of Revelation, as far as concerning, Esau, Edom being done away with, not done away with, sorry, being subdued, dumbed down, and pushed out of all the nations, but they're being brought forth once again to rain terror upon the earth, which we're in the midst of right now. So with that being said, we're in an evil time, okay? So I want to take this, I've more or less done this video a couple times in the past, but hey man, there ain't nothing called repeating something, to the point. So it's the book of Joshua 6:11. It says, so the ark of the Lord Yahweh compassed the city, going about it once, and they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord Yahweh, and 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord Yahweh went on continually, and blew the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the reward came after the ark of the Lord Yahweh, the priests going on and blowing the trumpets. Right. Not reading it, I want to just check what the reward is. Because I think it's what I think it is. Let's check. Reward. Let's check this real quick. Okay, the reward is like a raring. Okay. So came after the ark of the Lord Yahweh, the priests going on blowing the trumpets. And the second day they compassed the city once and returned into the camp. And so they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on the day they compassed the city 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. Right? So, so every day for 6 days they went around about the city of Jericho, once around the walls, blowing a trumpet. All right, this is the time of Yahushai, son of Nun. All right, Hosea, Yahushai, you got his name changed to Joshua, Yahushai, when he delivered the children of Israel into the land after Moses was basically told that he wouldn't go into the land. All right, so this being the case, on the 7th day, he basically went around the walls 7 times, blowing the trumpets. All right. In a formation. Okay, verse 16 say, and it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priest blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, shout, for the Lord Yahweh hath given you the city, and the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Lord Yahweh. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. Let me just check something real quick. Should just gone back. Force a habit with that one. Alright. Verse 18, and ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves a curse when ye take the accursed thing and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord Yahweh. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord Yahweh. So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, ox and sheep, and ass with the edge of the sword. Right, so this is, a keen example as far as the time that we're in, speaking to the power of, the day is called the memorial, the blowing of the trumpets. All right, memorial, the blowing of the trumpets. Find out quickly. And let me just look up this word memorial, so we can build upon that. The word there is Sakar one. Sakar one. Sakar one. Sakar one. Memorial, reminder, remembrance. Alright, this is one of the greatest things I could add. Well, this is one thing, but it leads into another thought. Alright, so I'll just quickly read this. Leviticus 23 and 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Alright? So this is one of the key things that comes to mind as far as concerning this high holy day. But then I'm sure during that time, what would the memorial of blowing trumpets bring to mind? Alright, the ingathering is one thing, but also when the Lord, the Heavenly Father, came forth with a fire enfolding within itself and the ram's horns blowing. Alright, this is why you see it in various key movies this day, where they show so-called UFOs, UAPs, which are the chariots of Israel. Alright, coming forth, they show them, and they, like War of the Worlds, they hear the ram's horn blowing. Okay, so this ain't no light kind of high holy day. All right, there's a lot to it, because even the things that are to unfold in the time that's coming are very very key whoops key key events. All right, but let me close out with this. So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others that have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him. Right, and they're going to have first dibs in salvation, because they're going to be risen up first, followed by those that are still here upon the earth. All right. Verse 15, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High. Right. And this is the key thing, these, memorial to remember, honor the high holy day, these are the things that ought to be, come to mind, that our salvation is near. And when you have the example of the trumpets being blown and showing the great power of it, it brought down the walls, the safeguard of the kingdom of Jericho, all right, and allowed it to be subdued and destroyed. And it's the same thing that's going to be happening to America, the proverbial walls of Babylon, all right, which we know it doesn't have walls, but it has a power structure, an image, and only a mark, that has been pushed out, perpetuated the world over, but the Heavenly Father is going to do away with it. Okay? For the Lord Himself, verse 17, say, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we be ever be with the Lord. Wherefore, comfort another with these words. So with that, pray you edify to the next one. Say shalom.